guys are doing well. Here are some of the papers that I'll be using. This is from an October afternoon collection that I absolutely love. It is one of my favorite October afternoon collections, and it's just everything about it is awesome. I love the colors, I love the textures and the patterns and everything. So I really enjoy this page in this collection. So I am using it to scrapbook a picture of my dog. His name is Ozzie. He actually passed away. It's been a little over 2 years now. I can't believe it's been that long. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. But I did a photo shoot of him and some of the other guys that I have, my other dogs that I had. And these are some pictures from that photo shoot. And this was the summer before he passed away, I believe. And I really like how the sun and everything was hitting the photos, and it just made his fur look just so beautiful because he's had this like orangish brown fur. So I really like how the photos turned out, and I want to scrapbook him. And I absolutely love this paper here that I'm using. This is a cloud paper. Oh my God, isn't it gorgeous? Anything to do with sky is just absolutely my favorite. So I am just gluing that down to this border that I trimmed out from one of the October afternoon papers, just using my little dot runner adhesive, and then I'm going to glue that down. This is going to be a layout that I do not put any mixed media on. I decided to just keep this kind of simple with just papers and the embellishments and things that came in the October afternoon collection. And yeah, so I'm just going to be doing that with this, and I'm going to be using two photos, and one is where my dog is facing me a little bit more, and then one where he's turned to the left, and I just think it really highlights how cute he is in his little ears. He had the softest ears, like so soft, like you just want to keep petting him. They're like velvet. So that's one of the things I remember about him, but he was such a good dog, so we miss him terribly, but you know, all good things have to come to an end, unfortunately. So I just want to do this layout to commemorate him. So enough about the puppy. I am just now taking these two photos. I mounted them on this fun paper that has like these like crosshatch circles that are on them. So I'm going to be kind of playing around. Most of the layout is going to be to the bottom third of the paper. So I'm going to keep the top open. I really wanted to kind of highlight the cloud paper in the background. You don't see a lot of it, unfortunately, but it's enough that I really want to just kind of keep that open at the top so you do realize that it is clouds. That blue paper is from the October afternoon collection too. I don't think I use anything that's not from the October afternoon collection. I think everything that I use today is from that. Now that squirrel of pieces of ephemera I thought was perfect because one, we're outside, the dog likes squirrels, and the squirrel's fur matched the dog's fur, so I thought it matched perfectly, and I thought it went well. And you know, my dogs, especially my other dog that it's not pictured here, loves to chase the squirrels, and I thought it was just a good accent to put on the page. Now I add that one long yellow strip, and I really like that. It kind of ties everything together. I think without that yellow strip it wasn't going to come together as nicely, so that was the perfect addition to kind of bring your eye across the page. And now I'm just going to be going through all these little die cuts and things like that. There's a bunch of like kind of flowers or scallopy circles that came in the kit or the collection, and I'm just going to be kind of layering those here on top of the photo or in different areas of the clusters. I have some butterfly punches. I can't remember. I think the butterflies actually were die cuts from the kit, and I may have punched some as well. Now I have some of these phrase stickers that I'll be using here also. I think some of them may have come from the sticker sheet that you'll see a little bit later. I added that little heart there. I wanted to bring some of the darker color in to the bottom left. And then I think I ultimately decided on keeping that blue butterfly because it brought that blue that I put in the bottom and top strips over to the left hand side of the page. Now here's just a piece of die cut, or a piece of ephemera or die cut that I had in the kit. I didn't really like necessarily what the pattern was on it, so you'll see me here in a little bit. I'm going to actually cut that into two pieces so I can bring the yellow on the top right and then towards the bottom left. These are some flair that came in the kit. I think I end up using one of these a little bit later. Here again, I'm just trying to layer up some of the die cuts and things that I had in the kit. Now I'm going to be trying to pull out some frames. I definitely have a lot of frames in my stash, and I really want to use them up. And I love the frames, like they're one of my favorite embellishments, but I always seem to struggle using them. So what you're going to see here, I'm going to actually pull out, I think I ended up pulling out two frames, and I don't like how you can see the paper behind them. So I'm going to end up backing the two frames, then stacking them up in the top right hand cluster. So you'll see that here in a little bit. And oh, I actually do end up using one other frame in the bottom left. I can't remember if that one I may not have backed. I may have kept that one open. But the ones in the top right, I definitely have added some cardstock to the back of, just to kind of, I think it was distracting to have some of the different layers and stuff in the background. So you'll see that here in a little bit. So I'm just kind of fussing with these slides, trying to figure out what I'm going to like. These slides are way too big. I was thinking about using them, but I think I ultimately end up not using those. They were just a little too big. That's the flare. I believe I end up using that one. I'm pretty sure I end up using that one flare with the chevrons, but now I'm not quite remembering. So here is where I start backing these two frames. I'm going to use this yellow frame, I believe, and I'm going to back it with this stripy paper. This is the same paper that I used for the outside border, and then I am going to take a smaller frame and back it with, I believe, that darker navy blue paper that I used in the top and bottom strips. And I like that a lot better. So it's much less distracting when you have that background paper there. You don't see the layers behind it, and I think that just gives it a little bit more clean look. So here I'm just backing this little guy, and then this is ultimately where I'm going to put my title. My title is going to be Ozzie, that's my doggie's name. So that is what is going to go up here in a little bit with some of the stickers, that letter stickers that came in the collection. So I really, really like how that looked. It brought the colors from other parts of the layout over to that cluster. And now I'm going to keep working on the rest of the layout here. I'm not sure where I went. Oh, there I go. So here is where I'm going to cut this yellow piece, I believe, up to put it in two different places. I thought the yellow was a little too heavy now that I had the frame and that yellow die cut piece. So I'm going to end up cutting a chunk out of the bottom left and then putting it over towards the bottom, sorry about that, the bottom right. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut it out of the bottom left of the card and put it to the bottom left of the layout. So there you go, a little bit just peeking out, and then it works perfectly to bring some more yellow in the background. And because I'm kind of tucking it in, you really can't see what is on that, so it doesn't matter that I chopped a bunch of it off. It's just the color I wanted to bring across, and I think that really helps kind of make the layout a little more cohesive. So now I'm just going to glue everything down. I'm going to start gluing the little frames on top of the other frame and on top of the layout overall, and I'm just using some foam dots because it of the different dimensions. I didn't want to kind of collapse on itself when I put it in the sleeve, the photo sleeve, so that's kind of what I'm doing there. And of course I'm being very finagly, making sure I get that perfectly right where I need to be. And so here I'm just going to start gluing everything down. While I am gluing everything down, I want to thank all of my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. I really appreciate all my subscribers and love when I add some more. And if you guys have any comments about what you would like to see me doing in my layouts, or if you would like to see more Project Life or less Project Life or more 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 videos, please let me know that as well. I always like to hear and get some feedback, so I want to make sure I am making layouts and things that you guys are interested in, of course. If you do like this video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up so I do know you like it. Otherwise, I just assume that you like it because you guys are watching. But anytime you guys can give me a thumbs up, that helps me know what you guys are enjoying. So now I just finished up gluing up on a lot of those things. Now I'm going through the sticker sheet after I glue this down, and I will add in some more embellishments. This is where I'm adding these little word strips here. So this is one of the word sticker sheets that came in the kit. So I'm going to add two words, I think, one here on the left or top right, and then I'm going to add one to the bottom left. And because I am putting it with that frame, I do need to add a little bit of foam tape just so it doesn't again collapse on itself when I put it in the page protector. And I find that using these tweezers really helps. So if you're trying to add little embellishments, especially if you're trying to like audition them to see if you like what they look like, using the tweezers really helps because it gets your fat fingers out of the way so you can really see if you are putting the embellishments where you want them to be. And actually I do end up using 3. I put the green one here in the bottom, and I actually put a green and a blue one in the top right. So again, more foam adhesive, and I'm just trimming out little bitty pieces of this to fit on the back of the sticker sheet. And those are Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I really like those because they are relatively thin and they stick really well. So I've used my foam adhesive, the sheets you can get at Michael's. Those are nice as well. But if you have these are also really nice. The foam sheets are less expensive, but I sometimes like that these are adhesive on both sides. I don't have to worry about adding my own adhesive. It just kind of depends on what you guys like to do. So now I'm working on my title. I do want to put it up there with those frames, so I do need to add some foam adhesive here and there so that it doesn't collapse into the frames because they are stickers. So now I'm just going to place those, and like I said, they say Ozzie, which is my dog's name. And oh, and then I did put that flare down there. I thought I might have. It was actually not the chevron one, it's the crosshatch one. So in the bottom right hand side you can see I placed one of those little badges. I forgot to mention that earlier. I think I might have done that off camera. So now I am going to basically finish off this layout. I think I'm just going to be adding the date here on the bottom right, and then I'm going to add some of my Tim Holtz Dilution White ink, which is my favorite white ink. I think it really looks very opaque and nice. So if you guys are looking for a good white ink, it's called White Linen. It's Dilutions, and that is what I'm going to use to finish this layout off. So stay tuned here for the close-ups of the pictures that I have of the layout. If you have any questions, make sure you guys leave those below. I am so glad that you guys joined me today and hope you enjoyed this process, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Have a great day. Bye guys.